What up, world? It's the Foyo Games with the world's first, count 'em, first top 100 TCG LCG CCG Dueling card game video list, as far as I know of. Spent a lot of time on this list. What constitutes a top 100 dueling card game? It's got to have at least cards that you do something with. I had to exclude one of my favorite dueling games, which was Capal, because it really has no cards. It has boards. But I thought about that long and hard, though. But anyway, without further ado, here goes the top 100 dueling card games, for short. Alright, starting with number 100, we have Chrono class system by Bandai. Two things about this game is that, number one, this game doesn't really use text language. This game really uses symbols for all the actions. As you can see, these oversized cards, these are the extra deck. So these come from the extra deck, like in Yu-Gi-Oh! For those, I guess for the first few, I'll kind of try to define common terms. I should make a separate common terms list. But anyway, this is an extra deck that starts out like, outside of the game. Main deck and extra deck. All of these cards have 12 slots for potential icons. This one right here, it just looks obviously like it's a swiftness or like haste, like you can attack as soon as you come out type of thing maybe. And then this one is a +2. Not sure what that is. This one, I kind of forget. But yeah, so the other thing about this game is that it uses the first Bandai game to use the gauge system. This is a system in which first player, they'll probably start off at 3 energy, but then whenever you cross that line over to 0 and go to 1, then it's going to be the opponent's turn. But you can do as many actions as you want to until you cross that line over to 1. And then it becomes the opponent's turn. So Digimon, they ran off with this system. And then before this, though, Crystal Clans, like a game by Plaid Hat, they used this system. And then I hear Tom Vassell says that a game called like Round the World in 80 Days used the system first. But don't quote me on that. Okay, so units, actions, and extra deck units is all the card types in the game. To win, you've got to complete 5 quests. Questing is tapping a unit that you have out, place a card from your hand face down on it. That card is now a guardian. When that unit gets attacked, the shield/guardian now can proc. Proc is like making a thing happen, proc. And now the unit can be like attacked as normal now that the shield is off of it. And at the turn beginning, you remove the quest card and score one quest point of the 5 to win the game. This game also uses the word tapping. Right here, Bandai game, and then it says right there clearly, untap. So, untapping. So, Wizards of the Coast, they no longer own that patent. They did have a patent, number 332, but that patent is now expired. So, feel free to use the word tapping, in your games, but there might still be some kind of legality to it, but I'm pretty sure you're pretty safe to use the word tapping, so that urban myth can go away now. This game had, as we see, like a Naruto set. It had a Godzilla set, a My Hero set, and that was the 4 sets that they had. So yeah, cool game, my number 100. On to my number 99.
Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 in the 2000s.
Munchkin TCG, a game by Eric Lang. There's bluffing in this game, hurling monsters, loot, which is armors, weapons, and trinkets, and mischief card at opponents to deal them 20 damage. Cards you can run away 1 time per turn, or limp away and take 2 damage. There's a runaway, limp away token right there, as you can see. 40 card deck, 1 hero, 3 copies per unique card. and only cards of heroes class can be included in the deck. And land gives each player an extra gold. And stashing is like a zone to the side. Cards that you attacked your opponent with last turn, they go back to your hand at your upkeep, which they call the warm-up phase, unless the opponent squishes them, killing them, whatever. And then opponents can face it. Okay, so attacking. There's a lot of bluffing with the attacking. So you can put down one card face down at a time for like an attack into the dangerous monster zone, which is just like the main battlefield. And you get caught cheating, you'll take 1 damage and take your coins back, and card goes face down to your stash. So when you put a card into the dangerous monster zone, you put coins next to it to pay for it. Then opponents can face it or run away. And then 2, you can underpay for like a monster in the dangerous monster zone. Weapons block the monsters. Monsters do trample damage. And mischief cards are played face up, and they're just like instant sorceries or whatever. And yeah, so that's my number 99. Only played that one once. And I didn't say, but only played Chrono class twice, and that was made by Ryan Miller of Lorcana, Duel Masters, and Kaijudo fame. All right, so my number 98. That's Bakugun Brawl Battle Planet. Cool game where you have the Bakugun. These are like magnetic balls, and then they open up with these cores. My Bakugan out. Yeah, so here goes the Bakugan, and then you open them up with the cores. Simo and Kimbo are great guys for this game. But yeah, so you got these cores, these hard plastic or whatever, but magnetic things. They've got plus B power. That's what you get like in a fight. So like you'll roll them onto the cores. And then as you see, like they open up once they get magnetized, like and open up with the core. And then it's like a cool little monster thing or whatever. Alright, but how that goes is, I played this one 5 times. This was a 2019 game. Cores and life decking. So any card can be energy like in this game. And then both players take their turn at the same time, roll at the same time. You take turns placing one core and building the hive matrix, what they call it. Roll 2 cards away from the hive matrix. If your Bakugan magnetically attaches to a core and opens up, you put it to the sideline and get the buff from the core. So like this one has a plus whatever that is. Don't recall, but that's something. No. That's what this side is. These sides, like they can be like more likely to be one thing, but this one is plus 250 B power, battle power, and then plus 3 on something, I forget. But yeah, B powers during brawl, and character cards start the game face down. Person with higher B power wins and deals the right mid card damage in number to mill to the opponent. Milling is making the opponent discard cards from their deck until they get down to 0. Then that's called getting milled. Then that's the lose condition of the game. Yeah, so like this one, okay, action card right here. That's what they look like. But you get the picture though. Alright, and then first to mill the opponent, plus 1 damage wins the game. And then if you lose a brawl, you must return cores picked up to the hive matrix. And then team attack, after you won last brawl, when all your Bakugan open, count up all the damage in cores, deal that amount of damage. And this game was big at Walmart, but never really hit LGSs for some reason. And then it's now like newly defunct, as Bakugan is now on to their third iteration of this game. Bakugan Evolutions, this was actually the second one. So yeah, so they're on the third game now. Alright, so that's been Bakugan Brawl. And like another problem with this game was sometimes putting the Bakugan back together. Sometimes they'll be super annoying to do so. Then you gotta get like on the internet and find out how to do it sometimes. Yeah, I'll just chunk this to the side for now.
This 97, alright, man.
Number 97, we got Pixel Tactics. Pixel Tactics is a game of a 3x3. As you can see right here, the game flow. We've got 3 in the front, that's called the Vanguard. 3 in the middle, that's called the Flank. 3 in the back, that's the rear. We have 25 card decks. You draft a leader, take turns playing a card, then pass turn. Each card has like 5 uses. So like 1 use in Vanguard, 1 in the front row, and 1 in the flank, 1 in the rear. Back row orders you can do, sorcery, speed spell, and then you can do melee and range attacks. All kind of crazy stuff. This is a level 99 game by Brad T. Talton. So like it's a 1-4 right here. But like you flip it over like as a leader, then it's a 4-15. So like the card has uses as leaders and regular units. And then on the unit side, in battle position, it can like in the Vanguard, it can do a spell right here. Flank, it does a spell. Rear, it does a spell. And then as some kind of other spell, you can just do it like as a sorcery speed spell, that purple one. So like every card is crazy like that. Pick one of these cards to be your leader, and they have higher stats naturally than the unit side. But yeah, good stuff. Alright, on to 90.
Look for me, lost in the world with 96 Bonnie and Clyde, me and my girlfriend.
6. Number 6, we got Paragon, Trials of the Chosen. This one is a game where you'll have 2 commanders. They're not called commanders, but you know, they're commanders though. And they're the ones with the health stat on them. And then you'll choose 2 of them from different classes, or the same class could be, but 2 commanders. There's no creatures, just only spells and like equipment in your deck. And then when one of your commanders dies, you will inherit the fallen commander's colors. And the unique thing about this game is that you pick your starting hand and you stack your deck like how you want it to be. So no kind of lucky draws or anything. It's all pre-planned. So 8 disciplines from 4 schools. You'll gain 1 energy / resource every turn. And until you get 10 like Hearthstone. And cool game here. And there's also these equipment. They also have health on them. And then they have like a magic, a cost to them. And like, you know, once they take enough damage, they will be discarded as well. Equipment. And then instant actions or whatnot. Cool stuff. Right.
I can't lie. I puff lie while I drive down the I-95.
On to my number 95, Ardent Reapers. Ardent Reapers came out in 2022. Played this one 2 times. This is a free-to-play, print-and-play, unique deck game, much like Keyforge. For Keyforge players and by Keyforge players, with one of the creators actually now going on to work for Keyforge. His name is Luke Olson, aka Sky Jedi. There's 3 types of cards in this game. There's creatures, actions, and relics. There's 17 main card decks and 1 identity card. So that's on a printable sheet of paper, which you get 1 free deck every 2 weeks, I believe. And then you can purchase decks for $2 if you don't feel like waiting or whatever. But so like on 2 printable sheets, that'll be 9 cards per page. 2 sheets will print you out a whole deck. And like if you want to do the back with the unique back type of design like an Archon, that'll be 3 sheets. Well, but you got to do it twice, so that's actually 4 sheets, but something like that. But okay, so after playing, using, or discarding cards, creatures and relics rotate to the active or mature state, increasing their utility for the player's next turn, provided they can survive. So like right here, relic, that's just like an artifact that stays on the field, doesn't necessarily tap. Yes, they do. Bonus, during your opponent's next turn, they can't play cards. So that's like an effect of a relic. A creature right here, they'll come out, I believe, like in this orientation, like tap to the left, then they rotate to straight up, then they rotate this way. They might proc extra like abilities, and then once they get here, then they're matured and can be scored. You score 3 points with this guy, big 3 points, and then highest points at the game end, they win the game. This guy says bonus, if this card wins a fight, draw 3 cards, then end your turn. There's fighting in the game. Rather enjoy this game. But yeah, so there goes the identity card. Free to print a deck right now on ArdentReapers.com. Right. That's been my number 95, Ardent Reapers. On to number 94.
Feel me? I wrote this song a long time ago. It was the dopest song I ever wrote in 94.
That'll be Genesis Battle of Champions. Keep that right there. This one is, played this one but one time. Did enjoy it though, of course, naturally. I guess since it's my number 94. This is played on a grid. I think it's a 6x5 grid, I believe. But there's no limit to the number of a unique single card in your deck. But what you do have to work with is 150 chi, I believe, for a deck. Maybe it's 95 chi. Something like that. But I think it's 150 chi per deck. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong later though. But okay, so you can move and attack with the unit, or move and move again. There's awareness that cards can interact with. That's the squares that they can see. So right there, Raha, she's a hero, and she can see these squares in front of her. So she has like a range right there, and she has 22 health. Whenever she dies, of course, you lose the game. And 95 aura. And then 1 energy reduction. And then these are the kind of pips that she can have in her deck. These types in her deck. And well, dropping stuff. And yeah, so Swift, she's got 2 different attacks on her. And then she's like the hero. Then you've got different kind of action cards. You've got techniques that your hero can do. And then you got some units. Cool game. This was by Haunted Castle Gaming, but since like they had to go through some corporate restructuring, and the designer actually sold the game off to Edge of Exile Games, and now they control the game. And they got their first set coming out pretty soon, and be on the lookout for that. And alright, so on to my number 93.
This is how we chill from 93 too.
This is how we chill from 93 too.
That's gonna be Warhammer Champions. Warhammer Champions. And this one, played this one twice. This has the 4-corner tapping of Light Seekers, and kind of like Ardent Reapers as well. But let's show some examples of these cards. Just right here. Okay, so this is a spell. It will hit the board. I've actually got a play mat around here somewhere. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Alright, but how Warhammer Champions goes is same 4 corner tapping as the Light Seekers game, which is to come later. But you have 4 commanders that start out on the board. The app offered the cards too cheap. That was a problem with the game, caused it to die. There's 4 lanes. There's 4 blessings. Those are OP cards that lay out randomly at the game's beginning. You put 4 champions on top of the 4 blessings. There's 38 card decks, 4 champions, 4 blessings, and 30 action cards. Turn order, you do 2 actions just like Light Seekers. Draw cards is in action. Goes left to right, so like your lanes will go left to right. And then blessings go first. Pass, you draw 2 cards. And like when a warrior has a unit in front of them, they can still use abilities, can join units fighting. Rend is damage. That ignores reduction. Quest, to complete the quest, rotate a champion all the way around. Then you get the blessing that's laying under them. So I think you get like 30 points of champions that you can put out. So like one of them can be like a 1-point champion. One can be 1-point champion. One could be a 10-point champion. Then the other can be like I guess an 18-point champion or whatever, something like that. But so there's actually no units. There's just champions that start the game. Spells. Nope, there are units. My bad. There are units. So cool game. Played that one 2 times. All right, but moving along to my number.
You should too if you knew what this game would do to you. Been in this since 92.
92. Theara, The Last Artifacts. Keep it in here. So in Theara, The Last Artifacts, it's like a 3 base game, much like a Marvel Snap concept before Marvel Snap. And you play cards to try to have the most strength to win the base. Your caster has powers that alter the numbers you play, and that are the bases as you play the number cards. Okay, so like, say you pick this character, Miria, the Fire Amazon. We know who she looks like. But she'll have these 4 spells on the field or whatever. And then they get activated by having the energy to pay for them. So this spell right here costs a purple and a yellow. This one, blue, yellow, green. This one right here, red and blue, purple, and this one with the red. Okay, this red one says destroy any energy card with strength 1 or less in this conflict. So much like Marvel Snap, like at that base, you spend a red energy on that side of the base. Then you can destroy any energy card with strength 1 or less in this conflict. Both players have the same deck of energy cards. I think it's like, haven't played in a bit, but this one is, so you'll have like 5 1s, 3, 4, 5 2s, different colors. There's a yellow, a green, a blue, a red, and a blue. And then looks like 5 3s as well. Green, purple, purple, red, red. You have 2 4s and 2 5s. Green and yellow. So something like that. And then you're just pretty much playing with the colors and playing with the things, trying to power up your 4 abilities and win the bases. Best 2 out of 3 wins the game. So love that. Theara, that'd be my number 92. And now for my 91.
Burner at the side of your dome, come out of my throne. I got this locked since 9-1.
Right, Star Wars, the card game, aka Star Wars LCG by Fantasy Flight Games, another Eric Lang design game, famous for Blood Rage, Marvel United, different Warhammer games, and Dice Masters. Alright, so this game has sets of 6 card pods. You gotta play 10 different objectives, 10 objectives, these horizontal cards, and those objectives each come with 5 cards that go with that objective. So, like, you know, you're kind of only picking like 10 pods for a 50 card deck. Kind of cuts down on deck building, kind of like Key Forge, like Alliance format, if you know that. There's 3 dark side factions, 3 light side factions. Scum and Villainy, Light, Dark, Empire, whatever, you know, Rebels, whatever. There's different win conditions for the dark side and the light side. And then there's a force wheel. I don't know where I put it, but I think you bid force, and then there's like an edge battle. I've only played this game once, but it was fun though. You compete over locations. There's you tick up the Death Star tracker, which if they reach all the way, then I guess the Death Star blows up the rebels or something, and then the dark side wins. Fun fact, I heard that this game started as like a Lord of the Rings LCG co-op type of clone. But then the guys at Drive-Thru Games, they said this, and then people complained about it at Gen Con once they tested it. Then they got the complaints, and then they reworked it into what it is now. So, cool game. Alright, so that's been my bottom 10 of the top 100. And I'll be back here in a few days with my number 81 through 90. Oh, yo, games, like, comment, subscribe, and check me out. Got the shirt on. This is the wrong shirt. What am I talking about? But we'll hit you with a spot.